Hello and welcome into the Fools On Stools podcast. My name is Kevin Walker, and as always, I'm with my co-star Anthony Council. Our fellow fool, Mr. Cullen Brown, will be joining us a little bit later to talk about baseball and everything included. Sorry about that. But today, joining us, a brand new guest, someone we've never had on before. He is one of the voices for Aubrey football. He is He's a connoisseur of multiple things. He does a lot of different things. And I mean, there's nothing else to say. He can speak for himself. Mr. Blake Elliott.
Appreciate y'all.
First ever walk-in on the podcast.
Yeah. All right, make sure I'm in frame.
You're good. Well,
how you doing, Blake?
Not yet.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm in frame?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Ish.
Hopefully.
I think you are.
I'll just get nice and cozy next to you, Kev. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, perfect.
How you been,
Blake,
big time?
You wanna introduce yourself a little bit to the people, let them know what you're about, and whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I am Blake Elliott. I hang out with these guys during the week. We do a little podcast on Mondays, the Green Guys, if y'all tune into that. And then, like Kevin said so eloquently earlier, I do the play-by-play and color commentary for Aubrey High School on Fridays, some nice football. I'm a senior here at UNT, almost done with school, doing sports broadcasting, fashion, and merchandising. So be on the lookout, and hopefully this is my last pod.
Yeah, you're looking good with the fashion choice. You know, the black hoodie and the shorts and the hat.
So
like
I saw in your
All
story.
black.
So I saw in your story that you posted that you worked out in Crocs. True.
Yeah, I still have them on.
Okay.
So you just came here from a workout in Crocs.
There was a little bit of in between time, but yeah.
Okay.
So how does that work? Working out in Crocs.
Crocs?
I mean, obviously has to be in sports mode.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I really don't put them in sports mode too often because it doesn't fit the fashion. I think they look a lot cooler with them forward, but the Crocs, when you're hitting upper body, it's not that big a deal because you're real grounded. Right. Now, if you were to do anything like legs, I would put on my Nike Blazers, not sponsored. I would put those on, but the Crocs work great. They're very fashionable. They're easy to slip on because I don't know if you know, if y'all have a pair of Blazers, they're like the hardest pair of shoe to put on.
Yeah.
So that unmotivates you to go. But if I can just slip on my Crocs, I'm already ready to go to the gym.
Facts.
And so it's an easy workout, nice and grounded to the ground. They look cool. They're easy, slip on and off. And yeah, got some shots up after the workout.
In the Crocs, right?
In the Crocs.
In the Crocs.
Wow.
They're
That might be the new wave.
They're the do-it-alls.
The do-it-alls.
The purple ones to be exact.
So you know, Anthony, way back when in the NBA, like they used to wear like Chuck Taylors and all that.
Yep.
So like maybe we should start bringing around Crocs.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the new wave.
They have great stickiness too. They stick to everything. So great hooping shoe.
Do you dunk in those too?
Yeah, I could dunk in these.
Okay.
I'll show you after this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might have that. We need a little bit of video footage for that.
I got you.
Well, without any further ado, we are going to bring in our other fellow fool, Mr. Cullen Brown, so that way he can talk about baseball and numerous other things. Cullen, how you doing today?
Doing well, Kevin. Man, you didn't forget. I know you didn't forget fellow green guy, Blake Elliott, along with everything else that we do.
He's a man of many talents. He's a man of many talents. I kind of, we're going with no script today, nothing. I'm just going simply off the top of my head, so you know how struggle that is.
Hey, listen, it's episode 40 today, boys.
Big 4-0.
Holy crap. We've been doing this for almost a whole year now.
Almost.
Which is insane. But yeah, happy to be in, even though if it's not in person today.
Stop looking at me, Anthony.
Even though I am.
He is in. So
I am and I'm not.
Yeah, he is in person, but he needs a little bit of a cough button, just in case scenario.
I would have been blocking Kevin if I was in studio today.
Yeah, true.
Sitting right there in the middle.
We don't have a multi-camera setup yet.
We're getting there.
Startup.
Right.
Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into baseball. So, as everybody who was in the sports spectrum knows, Aaron Judge hit 60, then he hit 61 to tie Maris, and then he hit 62 last night in our very own Rangers ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start off with that. First off, No more cutaway scenes from college football to Aaron Judge. I know many people have been complaining, are very happy about that.
Thank God.
And no more ESPN notifications on everybody's phone about Aaron Judge.
Very true. I will say, it's great that he hit it, and I'm great that they were trying to keep up with it, but don't feed it down our throats. Okay, we know what he's doing. We know he bats. We know baseball's played damn near every day. So
it was very reminiscent of the Steph Curry breaking the 3-point record every other day, getting told about it. It's like, okay, well, he's gonna do it.
It's gonna happen. Yeah,
I'll just take it when it happens.
Steph Curry's walking up the court 2 minutes, so you can watch it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Just wanted to point this out too. One of our baseball guys, Brendan. He was actually at the game last night.
That's cool.
When Judge hit his 60-second. So he actually caught the live footage of him hitting the home run. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty badass.
Yeah. Congratulations for the 7th most home runs in the season for Aaron Judge. It's crazy.
Big time. Now, obviously, without getting too much into it, what are your thoughts on Judge ranking amongst home run kings of the likes of Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, and all the others? What are your thoughts? Just your personal thoughts, Cullen.
Well, I mean, so are you saying all time or just for like in a season?
All time in a season, however you want to rank them. Just in the whenever people talk about these guys hit home runs and this is what they did and they absolutely crushed the ball, and you bring up Aaron Judge, where do you rank him? Where do you put him in that lineup?
Well, I mean, it's hard to rank Judge personally, just because I mean he's literally still playing. So to compare him to guys whose career is finished, I mean that would just be a little unfair. I mean he's hit 220 home runs in his career, and I mean he's still got plenty of years left to play. I mean he's about to get paid this offseason. He's only 30 years old, so he's still got a lot more time to kind of rack up the home runs and everything. In terms of the season, don't get me wrong, it's one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen from a player, especially in a contract year. Like I would argue this might be the greatest contract season a player, not just in baseball, but in any sport has had in maybe ever. And the fact that he was able to get to finish it last night and now he's got a day off today, I mean, it's well deserved. And he definitely is one of the greatest hitters of our generation for sure, in my opinion.
Boys, y'all have anything y'all want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm glad that this drought is over. One for the Mariners, one for our ears with the Aaron Judge situation. I think that touching back on the Judge thing, I think that okay, Kevin, I'll ask you this: is Judge in your head the all-time home run leader that is natty, if you will? Like, do you think that matters?
I think him hitting 62 is a really big deal.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, whatever, Sosa, McGuire, Bonds," and it's
I mean, and that's the thing. As far as like getting into the baseball politics, which are a very serious thing, especially with baseball being as old as it is, it's a very long history of traditionalists.
Mm-hmm.
And the traditionalist will always say what Bonds, McGuire, and etc. did is put a big fat asterisk next to it because it doesn't matter.
I agree. I'm on that side.
For instance, if I were to go ask my father, who is, as much as he wants to decline it, more of a baseball traditionalist than he is a new age baseball follower, he would say Aaron Judge probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. I haven't had that conversation with him yet, just because it is so recent, but he would probably say Aaron Judge is up there as far as, he probably, maybe not, it's just strictly has the title as far as home run king per se, but he's up there in the top 3 discussion. Whereas if you go talk to somebody who takes baseball in as a whole, which is most analysts and things of that sort, they're gonna say, what Judge did is huge, it's big, hasn't been done for a long time, but he's not the home run king in 70. Is it 73 or 74, Cullen?
73.
Yeah, so 73. They would say 73 is the number to beat and always will be.
I just don't know how you can. He's literally been labeled, like, we know that there was enhancements being done.
Sure.
Like it's not even like it's a theory. Like
Right, yeah.
if you knew someone cheated to score the game-winning touchdown,
True.
and it was
Yeah.
like, well, they're the touchdown leaders. Like, no, it literally got proved he's not. I don't even know how that's. I mean, I'm not in the baseball politics like y'all might be, but like, I just don't even see how that's an argument to be made. I mean, you could say this is the record of the steroid users, and cool, have them all in their own category.
Right,
But
yeah.
if someone is all natty, but at the same time, we didn't catch them in the moment. We caught them years
and
later.
that's what I was
Could
going
happen
to
to
say.
Judge.
I've
Yeah.
talked
I mean,
to a
to be
lot of
fair-
people. Go ahead, Cullen.
I was gonna say, to be fair, Blake, I mean, the thing is with the whole steroid era and people juicing potentially. I mean, not even all of that's for sure. Like, I mean, if you kind of look into some of that, I mean, there was the obvious people that got busted. I think it was I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the names. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa obviously got caught cheating. But then there's guys like David Ortiz who, like, it was rumored that they did, may or may not have.
Pujols.
Barry Bonds never tested. Pujols was mentioned into it. I mean, there's plenty of guys that, like, you could put an asterisk next to. And baseball's had, like, a really checkered past. So it's really tough to kind of sit there and say, who's should be counted legitimate and who's not, or who's natty, as you say. But I mean, it's going to be something that when we look back and throughout the history that Judge's season, I think that was why they were so, like, heavily pushing. Like, if you were watching that bat, the American League home run record. They weren't saying, like, the total season home run record. They were just saying American League.
I think that's
one
a good
quick
way
note-
to kind of go around it.
One quick thing too about Judge, he's played now 7 seasons in Major League Baseball. The only 3 times he's played more than 112 games in the season, which baseball has 162. So if you miss 50, I think it's 50 games or whatever in baseball. I mean, that's a significant part of the season. That's almost like a third of the season.
Yeah.
Judge's played more than 112 games 3 times. In those seasons, he's hit 39 home runs, 52 home runs, and now 62 home runs this year.
Yep.
Like, he sits out there and plays, he's going to hit home runs. So I think, if he can continue to stay healthy, I mean, there's no reason to believe that he can't end up as one of the all-time home run leaders. Will he ever catch Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, and now Albert Pujols? I mean, that remains to be seen. But, I mean, he's just got to stay healthy ultimately. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So kind of jumping off of the Aaron Judge train as far as the home run hitting itself. Home run 62 was big. It was special. I think if you're a Yankees fan, if you're Aaron Judge, you would rather it be in Yankee Stadium, which is completely understandable. But it happened at Globe Life Field, strangely enough. The fan that fell over trying to catch it is fine.
That was awesome.
That was
It's
funny.
being reported that they're fine.
Did he get fined?
No. He is okay.
I can't believe he got in no legal trouble for that, jumping over into the bullpen.
I
right?
mean, would you not?
I
mean,
would, but I
it's
would
home
know
run
there-
62.
I would know there's consequences behind it.
I mean,
It's a lot.
Do what you got to do, I guess. But the person who got the ball, I was told by one of our, I swear we have a lot of baseball insiders, but Mr. Tyler Luker informed me, and I don't know if you know this, Cullen, but he is worth a lot of money, the
Yep.
person who caught Aaron Judge's ball.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, he is.
VP of Fisher?
So, what are y'all's thoughts as far as him wanting? Because I know it hasn't been reported that he wants to keep it or sell it or whatever. Aaron Judge said he wants the ball back, but he said if he wants to keep it, I believe his quote was he has all the right to it. I don't personally agree with that, but I want to get y'all's opinion on it. And because I know we talked about this with 61.
Right.
But I don't think Cullen was here to talk about it. So I want to get his opinion on it, what he would do with the ball, and y'all's stance and opinion on the guy potentially keeping / selling the ball.
I mean, so the ball, I think it was rumored to be like $2 million. What's up, man? How you doing, Mark?
It's gonna be
Special market appearance.
yeah.
Right.
It's
No,
gonna,
you're good.
I
I'll
believe
get
the
out of
estimated is supposed to be worth about $3 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Is what it's could
Yeah,
be
gone up from
estimated
the
to be
original
sold
$2
for.
the way. Sorry, I had a little technical issues back there. No, it's good. I think it should be given back to Baseball Hall of Fame. Hey, Dan. I'm just
You're meeting the
Special
whole
Dan
crew.
appearance. Wow. Meeting the whole team, huh?
Yeah, the whole KNCU squad.
I know, seriously, they're all coming in here. No, I think it should be given back to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I mean, whether Judge wants to keep it himself, I think it should go to Cooperstown and should be given out the way. Now, don't get me wrong, the fans should be heavily compensated for it, for giving the ball back. But, I mean, it is ultimately his choice. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if this was just a regular home run ball, no one would be saying anything.
Right.
It's just the fact that it's a special ball that we're having this debate. So, personally, if it were me, I would give it back just because I would respect the game's history too much. But I would totally, wouldn't hate the fan if he decided to keep it. So
I think what people are most upset about it is that the guy's already rich.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you were like a college student or somebody who just spent their last couple $100 or so to go get tickets to see this, then it's like, okay, cool, you get to sell this for life-changing money.
Right.
But this guy's already got, he's already worth millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is before the ball?
What do you mean?
Yeah. He's very well off.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's well off beforehand.
Jeez,
so
man.
it's like,
give the ball back, bro.
But at the same time, you can't, like, I guess, harm him in a way, like, because he's rich. Now he has to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
He should still be cordial about it and be like, I do have all this money, so therefore it's probably more important to him than it is to me money-wise. It's a power thing.
Yeah.
It's not a money thing. It's a power thing.
And that's what's interesting about this whole thing is, like, first off, you have the 60-second home run in itself, and that's a big thing. That's a big deal. But then you take into consideration the person who catches that ball is like, okay, normally we wouldn't care, but then it's like this whole thing comes up as like, well, this guy's actually rich.
Kevin, I don't mean to interrupt. I had to leave the premises, but I did run into our fellow baseball insider, Tyler Luker, and he wanted to give his thoughts about the 60-second home run ball. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to hand the phone over to Tyler Luker.
This is absolutely perfect.
Go ahead and talk.
Well, I mean, first of all, the guy's worth $190-something million. To be honest, he doesn't really need the money.
Can we get Tyler? Can you speak up a little bit?
He wants you to speak up a little bit.
Okay. If Judge already said he wanted the ball back, then I think he should give it back. Just the guy doesn't need any more money. He's worth $190 million plus. And eventually that ball should end up in Cooperstown, I think.
Thank you.
I
agree.
Yeah.
All right, that was Tyler Luker giving his guest appearance on the podcast. He's about to catch his bus, but I figured that was just funny.
That was perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
The right segment, the right person, everything. Now, as far as Blake and Anthony go, I know y'all aren't as rooted in this whole baseball politics thing as I guess me and Cullen and some others are. What are y'all's opinion, just from the outside looking in? If y'all don't know, Cooperstown is where
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, okay,
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Cool. Just want to make sure.
I think so. If that was me that caught the ball, I personally used to go to baseball games all the time. My family has season tickets. Respect the game. I know that value has more to them than to me, so I would graciously return the ball for great considerations, aka season tickets, aka money, signed jersey. But I would do it just for a monetary value. All that is to me is not like history, because like you said, I'm not as rooted in it. Now, if I got freaking Michael Jordan's Game 7 like basketball shorts, then yeah, that would be something I'm like, hey, it's gonna be tough for you to get this back. But like something like that, I would definitely give it back, especially with the deep tradition you were speaking of. And this is something that's going to be in Cooperstown forever. Like, this is part of baseball history. So me keeping it is just like a flex, and it's just a power struggle, and I don't have that. So I would definitely give it up, get the money, and you hope it goes to someone nice. Like you said, from what I saw from the video, the guy seemed a little bit, if you will, a douche, to be nice. He didn't seem like the
nicest guy on the planet.
The nicest guy ever. So I'd hope we'd be a little more gracious over something that's really not yours.
Yeah, I get that. I would do the same thing, honestly. I'll give the ball back. I mean, I know it means more to Aaron Judge. I've been an Aaron Judge fan for a long time, since his rookie year. And I mean, this one is a big one, especially it's like if you take everything that he's gone through this season, betting on himself this year, just getting the Yankees to be one of the best teams in baseball right now, and winning the NL East, right? I think. Am I wrong?
Yankees are the AL East.
AL, thank you. Just everything that they've gone through, I think that he deserves it. I mean, home run 62. His mom was there sigh of relief. I know all y'all saw that video.
You know what?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I should have been there. I had tickets, and I decided not
You
to
had
go.
tickets?
Yeah.
Wow.
But to be fair, my tickets were in right field, and it was hit to left field. So
Well, you wouldn't.
You
have
would
known
still
that.
been there, though.
I wouldn't have known that. But then maybe my energy would have brought the ball towards me, you know? I'm like, Aaron.
Yeah, I just went.
Now, knowing me, I don't want to say I would choke, but like that'd be a lot of pressure.
Hey, man.
You see that ball in the air coming
That's
towards
true.
you.
This is
People
number
are knocking
62.
you down.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I would tackle a baby for it. Okay, no, continue.
Anyway, so I guess that all but wraps up the whole Aaron Judge thing. I predicted he would get about 65. I guess 62 or 63 might be all he gets. Which, like, you know.
Dudes don't want to
I
pitch
mean,
them.
it's 62. It's 62. He's not playing today.
Oh, he's not playing today? Okay, so then 62 will be the final.
Is this the last game?
You know, you're right, Blake.
I believe so. Today is last day.
Well, yeah, today's game 162. They just told him he has a rest day today.
I absolutely, just side topic, and you continue. I hated how they were not pitching to him the
I
last
did
couple
too.
of days. I thought that was weak. Like that was like I don't want you to have your
So-
moment. So
Right.
I'd rather
So-
just lose this game.
So
than
it's
what you're at.
interesting. It's interesting because at the
Haters.
same time that you want to look at the pitchers and be like, "Oh, y'all are weak for like not pitching to him,"
Yeah.
like right. But the teams that they're facing against are on playoff runs.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got not bases loaded necessarily to be an extremist, but so you got a guy on second, he's the tying scorer. Are you gonna pitch a
Yeah.
fastball to Aaron
But he
Judge
was
and let
getting-
him knock that out of the
He
park?
was getting walked in like the first couple innings. Like
No, I get that, and
Like if it's eighth inning and like you said that situation, cool. You walk him like you would any other guy who hits home runs. But it was like they almost had an agenda. They knew like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want him to break
Guaranteed.
it on me. I don't want
Right.
to be the pitcher who does. I'm just gonna walk him.
I get
Right.
it, and I get that, but at the same time, it's like, look, man, if it happens, it happens. I mean, whenever he hit 61 in San Francisco, everybody in San Francisco just watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like, hey, we're gonna let you hit this, and then we're gonna all watch this ball exit because it's historic. It's a big deal. It's a
Yeah.
Yankee passing a Yankee. But now it's Aaron Judge is in his own company as far as the AL goes.
Who was the pitcher who threw it to him?
Can't remember. See, that's the thing is like being the
remembers.
pitcher who throws it is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's really not.
Because if you were to be like, well, he hit 62 home runs, the last guy who threw him a ball is the one that mattered. That's not true. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If anything, if
I mean,
you're a
if it
nobody, it
had-
gives you some wreck.
If it would have been a big name pitcher like, I don't know, Justin Verlander or maybe like Clayton Kershaw or something, it would have mattered maybe a little bit. But
Yeah.
no, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Or
Yeah.
somebody who had a bad record against
That would have been
over
cool.
time.
That would have been cool.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the whole situation in itself is interesting. But moving on, Pujols, I believe, has 703 home runs now. Cullen, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
Okay, so he's just,
Just moving on up.
I don't know about y'all, but personally, when I heard this was Albert Pujols last year and he was going back to St. Louis, I was like, okay, he's gonna have a farewell tour, and and he'll have probably a subpar season. Dude has been killing it.
Yeah, he has.
Pujols has been killing it all year, and his team is in the playoffs.
Yeah. Farewell season, a record season, really, for him, honestly.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I think they're going to have a good run in the playoffs. I mean, with Pujols at the helm, I mean, he's just going to keep on going up, especially in the playoffs. I mean, I have high expectations for him just with what he did this season. So we'll just have to see.
Mr. October.
Yep.
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's give Cullen his time to do what he wants to do. Mr. Cullen, take the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Kevin
He's
Walker.
rocking the Ken Griffey too.
Oh,
I
jeez.
am. Oh yeah, dude. After 21 years, 21 freaking years, the Seattle Mariners are in the playoffs, and I cannot believe it.
I was
Oh,
not born the last time they were in the playoffs, just for those who don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin, because among other things, in the last 21 years have happened since the Seattle Mariners had last been in the playoffs. Ichiro, famous Seattle outfielder, was a rookie when they made the last make the playoffs. Julio Rodriguez, the star rookie for them now, was 8 months old at the time that the Seattle made the last made the playoffs. Albert Pujols, who we just talked about, has hit 664 home runs since Seattle last made the playoffs. Michael Jordan was basketball for the Wizards. Tom Brady wasn't even a starter for the Patriots when the last time the Seattle Mariners made the playoffs. There was over 5,000 blockbusters. Kevin, I'm not even sure if you know what that is.
I saw that stat.
I'm about to say, where are you getting all these stats from, big dog? I mean, I know you were alive at that moment.
I'm the stats guy of this show. You should know this, Anthony. Come on now. The iPhone didn't exist. The first version of the iPod actually came out the last time
I had one of
Seattle
those.
made the playoffs. Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone,
We're
was the
big
number one
Harry
movie
Potter
in the
fans.
theater. Fallen by Alicia Keys was the number one song in the world. Shrek was released in theaters.
Wow, I love that movie.
And it's insane. Like, there's so many more, but I'm not trying to bore everybody because the main thing is the Mariners are in the playoffs. We're seeing the Mariners in October playing baseball, and I could not be happier.
And it couldn't have happened in a more epic way.
Oh no! Yep, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, freaking catcher that I'm not gonna lie has kind of had his bounces around the league. Comes over to the Mariners, and again in a crowded, I guess catcher roster spot in the majors. He just goes in, man, and he just hits home runs. That's all he does. And
he hits
3-2,
dingers.
Bottom of the ninth. I mean, you couldn't have write that story better if you were, writing a movie script. And he freaking sent Seattle to the playoffs. It's for everybody. I mean, that city just deserves it. I know Safeco Park was rocking that night. I know they're still rocking. And, I mean, we're about to play the Blue Jays this weekend. So the manager, Mr. Cervais, he came out afterwards and was just like, this is the first goal, and we're happy that we ended the drought, but that wasn't our goal. That wasn't our only goal this season. So we'll see how far the Mariners go, but I'm so freaking happy. I didn't want to talk about it because I was afraid I was going to jinx it because it had been so long.
No, you made that very clear. I asked you so many times to say, hey, what's the Mariners' magic number? And you're like, nope, not talking about it. Not happening. Yeah. So I had to literally look it up on my own. I'm glad they got in just so that way you can have that kind of excitement. It's been a bit of a up and down year for you as a Seattle fan. I definitely think that this was deserving of you. Well, I mean, you do have a better quarterback now than you did before, but that's a different topic.
Hey, our quarterback doesn't write back. That's all I got to say. Our quarterback doesn't write back.
So you're riding that Geno Smith train?
Have to. Man's leading the league in NFL completion percentage.
Yes, sir.
Have to. But yeah, very happy about that right now. So,
is there anything else you would like to add to your Mariners happiness of a chant / rant, however you want to label it?
No, I gotta get headed to class, unfortunately. But the last thing I'll say is go Mariners. Good luck on the podcast today, boys. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm actually excited about October baseball because I got a team to root for.
Yeah.
So I will.
I don't.
Don't worry, it'll come around.
No,
we'll have to wait 21 years probably.
Hey, Frisco Rough Riders made the playoffs, so that's something.
There you go. But
all right, Cullen.
Give it up for Cullen.
Yeah, boys. Appreciate y'all.
All right, bye, man.
All right, take it easy, y'all.
Peace. Yeah, get that guy out of here. Oh, been holding my breath.
I know, really.
No, you do not understand, Kevin. The first 10 minutes, we couldn't hear a word. Cullen was saying, we were like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that.
We were just looking.
That's
at
how good of actors we were. I don't think the listeners knew, but
they probably did.
We just let them in on that. It's okay.
No,
yeah,
I figured it out. I had it on the wrong setting, so.
Oh, is he trying to call back?
Oh,
he missed us.
Hey, see money.
Messed up a little bit. That was perfect that he walked by Tyler though.
Oh,
I mean, Tyler's like our baseball guy, so it's like that was perfect. Well, we are still recording, and now that baseball has been talked about and it's come and gone, we will not be talking about any more baseball until
the Rangers make it back.
Well, we'd have to wait quite a while, but we won't be talking about any more baseball until playoffs are officially underway. Until October is officially in baseball season. So without any further ado, let's talk about the king of all sports, the NFL. Boys, it was a big weekend, strange weekend. Before we talk about anything, we have not talked about the Tua situation because the last time we recorded, it was a Wednesday, so it was before the Thursday night game. And then it was before the Sunday game, obviously. So I want to talk about that. What are y'all's opinions? What are y'all's comments? What are y'all's thoughts? Whatever. Because being somebody who played football, and Blake played football as well, so you probably have a little bit of insight on this. We know a small, tiny bit, or at least I do, about the concussion protocol. It's probably a little bit different on the NFL side. I did listen to an ESPN. Y'all know I'm a big ESPN daily podcast guy. I listened to an episode that they did with Alex Smith, and he talked about the concussion protocol and everything that it goes through. So if y'all want, whatever y'all want to say, let it fly.
Well, I said this on the last podcast, and we talked about this off air. That hit from Monday night's game or
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday night's game.
Against the Bills?
Yes, clearly he got hit in the head. Like, clearly he had a concussion.
Well, he didn't get hit in the head.
He got thrown.
He
got whacked around, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like when he got up, it's like, okay, bro. From his back, really? And then following it up with Thursday, I mean, you have what, like less than 5 days to get
4.
Yeah, to get ready for a game.
So basically, I'll break it down because I've been trying my best to keep up with this. So basically, the first game was Sunday night, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
Sunday
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, something like that.
They were playing against the Bills.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What happened was he was tackled and his head flew back and hit the grass.
Right.
That's what happened. They brought him in for concussion protocol because he was stumbling all over the field. And it was like, hey, man, Tua does not look good. Well, let's throw Teddy Two Gloves in there. Let's see what happens. And then he goes through concussion protocol and everything happens. And he comes back after the second half and everybody's like, whoa, that's
What's going on?
What's going on
Yeah.
here, you know? And so just right then, all the speculation starts. And so after the game, a few days after, it comes out, hey, he was checked twice for concussion protocol, but it actually ended up being his back. He injured his back earlier in the game, and then he had a little bit of a back spasm, so he just lost his equilibrium. That's what was being reported originally. And so it's like, I don't know about y'all, but I was like, okay, obviously these insiders and these doctors who have literal PhDs in this stuff know way more than I do, so I'm going to end my speculation. That makes a lot of sense if he doesn't have equilibrium to be, fumbling and bouncing all over the place. So, I mean, he led his team to a win, so I was like, okay, maybe he didn't have a concussion. Maybe he's good.
See, that's where it starts, honestly. He came back and he won, so the speculation kind of died.
It's like, okay, maybe he is good.
Imagine he comes back and he does like a wild pick, and they're like, well, he's obviously concussed.
He's not good, right?
But he came back and did. I mean, it's not like he threw for 500 yards when he came back, but he came back and won the game. So no one was really like
against a good team,
against a very good team,
right?
So no one's speculation kind of died down. But continue.
And so it was kind of like everybody some people had their speculation, some people didn't, and so it was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then he was actually on the injury report Monday and Tuesday for an ankle/back is what it was put.
And I call that cap.
And so
Totally.
Thursday night, he was questionable leading all the way up into the game, and then he was ready to play. And then, as y'all know, he was a play happened. He was thrown around, and
same thing. It was like the same.
It was
kind of
ugly.
the same play for real.
It was ugly. His head got contact somewhere, and so what happened was, and because this all happened while I was in class, and so all I saw surfacing on my social medias was a picture of Tua who had his hands like in front of his face.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I guess he like broke his fingers.
It's like a fencing response.
That's
right.
what it is. And so, but at first I was like, did he like break his fingers? And he started looking at his fingers or whatever. And so I look it up, and awkwardly enough, thank you Twitter, because PhD doctors and like doctors who like certify
all across the board.
They like certifying like CCE and stuff like that. They were like commenting, like verified people were commenting. And they're like, this is called the fencing position. I was like, well, I've never heard of that before.
I don't think anyone had heard of that.
I don't think a lot of people have. And so for the people who don't know, the fencing position happens when your limbs, your fingers, whatever, do an unnatural position, an unnatural thing while you are like knocked out. Because if anybody like goes back and looks at that picture of Tua having his hands in front of his helmet, his eyes are closed.
Yeah.
He's not like he's not like
He's
looking at
out.
his fingers.
Yeah.
He's actually like not there, knocked out kind of thing. And so that's called the fencing position. Your brain basically is harmed, and like a nerve or whatever basically sends a wave through your body and like makes your fingers, your hands, your legs do weird.
It's something to do with the back of your spine back there. It just kind of shuts off because it all connects, so it just shoots down your arm, and you're just like stuck right there.
Yeah.
And that's why I think everyone first was like broken fingers, and then once you saw him moving, it's like, oh my god, is he like paralyzed? Like he's not moving. Like this is not good. And then reports came out, and he was in the hospital and feeling great, which I thought was a little PR.
That's cap. And then on top of that, you're gonna fly back home with the team, having a concussion.
So and then
that night,
and then so the further more it happens that people are like speculating, like, okay, well, like, because then he gets transferred to the hospital, and then it's like, okay, like, obviously from that point we're like, okay, so this guy might have gotten concussed
trauma hospital
twice.
Yeah, that's
and
bad.
within a week. For those who don't know, you can die from getting 2 concussions within a week.
Less than a week, 4 days.
You can die. You can literally die. You can
my
have
head hurt.
And if you don't, you could have long-lasting head trauma. We're like, y'all don't like, if for those who don't know, CTE is so real.
And see, the crazy thing is he doesn't even have to die playing a football game. Like that stuff, he could be walking to the grocery store. I wish him the best. It doesn't happen, but that kind of stuff can happen. He could be walking around town and just
Lights
drop
out.
dead.
yeah,
Because of that brain injury and that neurological stuff going on up there. It's not something to mess around with. So you would hope that independent doctor, because that was my thing. Like, it was a big Thursday night game. Obviously, you want the stars out. The NFL is Instagram and tweeting every other day about how big this matchup is. The 2 young teams coming up. And obviously, the Dolphins want that revenue money. The NFL wants the revenue money. We need Tua out there versus Joe Burrow. We need him to go. And, the Dolphins were undefeated at the time. So, yeah, it's just a back injury. Tua, you're good to go? He says he's good to go. He's a competitor. We'll roll you out there. If anything happens, let us know. And then, obviously, hindsight 2020 shouldn't have been out there. But
I don't think hindsight is 2020.
I don't think he should have been out there either way, whether he got hurt or not.
So either.
See, you say back injury, right?
Yeah, so cap.
Because look, I can understand if it's a back injury. I get it. Because like the back injury is connected to the spine, which is to the head. So it's like
kind of they could have been more see-through.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing when everyone is very much speculative, even on your own team around the NFL.
For sure,
this is a concussion, and I think a lot of people were saying, well, it's Tua decided to go out there, and it's not just the doctor's fault. I feel like as the head coach, like, of course Tua's going to want to go. He's not going to say, I don't want to play.
So before you even go with the head coach route, I'm going to take it a step further.
Let's hear it.
So the head coach obviously is on the sidelines, sitting there watching the game, calling the plays, doing whatever. Mike McDaniel is a brand new head coach, first year in the league as being a head coach of the Miami Dolphins, doing really well so far. I want to ask you, Blake, before you say what you say, and I'm not necessarily dogging you or anything. I just want to. I think that it's a thing that people don't think about, because you can run through Twitter. It's the head coach's fault. It's the head coach's fault. When at any time did that head coach go in that tent?
No. See, this is my thing. I'm not saying he knew or didn't know. This is my thing. If I see my star quarterback get hurt on Sunday, and I saw him wobble to get up, he's not playing Thursday. End of discussion. He could tell me he's 100% great. That doctor could tell me he's 100% great. I'm not risking my whole season on a short week. I wouldn't play him next Sunday, let alone on Thursday, when I just saw what happened. Now, if it was something that happened in practice, it didn't really he might have tweaked his ankle. Doctor says he's good. Cool. But, that was on national TV. Everyone saw it. You saw it on the sideline, him wobbling to stand. I wouldn't have brought him back in that game. Now, obviously, they won, so it worked out or whatever. But I definitely wouldn't have played my franchise quarterback. This isn't just like some older. This is a young, budding star. I would not play him on a Thursday night when he just got knocked out. So I think he should have just stepped in and been like, I don't care if he's clear or not. He's not playing. But that's just my piece.
And I can understand where you're coming from on that. I get it.
And it's week 4.
But I guess my thing is like the
head season
coach
just started.
The head coach is going to trust and rely on his medical staff to do their job, and just as he should.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys get PhDs, they get certifications, they get all these things for literally doing their job.
But the head coach at the same time, he has a pair of eyes. He saw what happened Sunday.
And I can understand that point of view. But it's like, hey, send him in the tent. If the doctor's like, hey, we're good. And then you look at Tua and you're like, hey, man, I don't know about this.
I think that's
and
where
Tua's like, I got to go out there and win this for my team.
Like you said, I think that's where it comes being a rookie head coach. If that's Bill Belichick, you're not playing. I already know. I've seen 7 guys with that injury last year. I know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
He's just like, oh man, big primetime game. Doctor said he's good. I need to start.
I need my paycheck.
I need this guy. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to go 3 losses in a row, start whatever. He wants to keep this perfect season going. So Doctor said he's good. He rolls him out there, but. That's just the learning pains that come with it, and hopefully it's not at the expense of Tua's career.
Yeah. And so the neurologist, the independent doctor, was fired Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday or Monday he was fired.
Yeah.
The NFL and the NFLPA are going to bring in Tua for questioning.
I think they already are.
Yeah, it started this week.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's going on, and we probably won't get anything out of it soon. But what is interesting is the NFL, and I'm not going to try to dog on the NFL as much as a lot of people are, because I know there's this whole idea that the NFL is horrible at concussions, horrible at CTE, horrible with player management, injury management, and all that. And I think, personally, the NFL, and I could be blind to it, I think the NFL has been trying their best. I think that they've had a lot of progress. I mean, we're talking about the same league who probably 30, 40 years ago would post head-on-head collision contact as a highlight reel during one of their pregame shows.
Yeah.
We're talking about that same exact league. So to look at the league now, I think you have to obviously see that they've done their very best as far as trying to be more aware.
I mean, look at Tom Brady, bro. He's 45 playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, they're protected.
Yeah.
Because like my thing is that with whoever the doctor was for Tua,
there's multiple.
Must have been the Chargers doctor.
I mean, whichever one that got fired, like you mean it was on. I saw the post.
He'll never get
like,
another job again.
Oh, absolutely not.
He definitely can't.
There were
anymore.
so many mistakes that he made for Tua, and just saying, okay, you can go out there. It's like, because I want a paycheck. Maybe, I don't know what his thought process was, but it's like, if you're seeing all these mistakes and you're just gonna brush them past because it's a franchise quarterback and it's like, I just want to keep my job. I'm not saying that's his thought process, but it's like you're putting a man's life in jeopardy right now. Like make the smart call. And I mean, like you said, new head coach. Like, I don't care if the quarterback has played since he's till he's 45 or he's a rookie. You ain't putting him out there. That's just ridiculous. But when it comes to NFL protocol to concussions, they're doing a good job, a decent job.
Well,
but
before you talk about that, and I'm not trying to take up the entire show and just talk all like the entire time, but like I said, I've tried my best to keep up with this.
Yeah.
The NFL, starting before this past weekend, has already implemented new concussion rules.
Yeah, I like those.
So basically, if a player shows any instability, can't control themselves, can't hold themselves up, or show any signs of basically not being there, they're instantly not only in concussion protocol, but they're done for the game.
Yeah.
And this is after the Tua thing?
Yeah,
This was
like
literally implemented the day after the Tua
Wow.
thing.
Yeah. Because they got to stop this.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the NFL's tried to do their very best as far as concussion protocol, and they've prided themselves on doing a lot better than they have in the past. And I think that they are truly doing the absolute most that they can. But the thing that's so interesting, and they talked about this on the ESPN Daily thing, the thing that's so interesting about concussions is, one, it does the same thing to everybody, but at the same time, it affects people differently. 1. 2, people can have a concussion, 1, not even know it and not show any symptoms. And 3 is, it's like, for instance, if you get a high ankle sprain, you can run that through an MRI and be like, okay, obviously.
Bye, Anthony.
Anthony's got to head out.
Yeah.
So
You're not
see you
going to
guys
tell the
next time.
people bye?
I will. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys next week. Have fun talking football and basketball and sports.
gotta
Grab
go.
a stool. Be a fool. Always.
Yep, obviously.
Don't drool.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be.
Like that?
Yeah, nice. Never had that edition. But anyway, it's kind of like if you have a high ankle sprain, it's like you're obviously going to be able to see through an MRI scan or an obvious doctor, whatever, like, hey, you have an MRI scan.
Yeah.
But it's like with a concussion, it's like we don't know at what severity, or we don't know there's so much gray area with concussions, but there's such a bigger deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it's just hard to put your finger on. Is this guy concussed? Is this guy unstable? Is this guy going to be able to come back? Is it just a hard hit? And so that's why the concussion protocol is so important. And I feel like after this event happened, there'll definitely be more experts, if you will, whether they're sideline ready, because it just seems like they're almost unprepared for it. They're like, oh, this guy can't get up. We got to do this concussion protocol. This should be not normal, but you should be very prepared, have a 1, 2, 3, 4 step process, which they probably have some thing going on. But I feel like there should be no question. It should be black and white. There should be no gray area. This guy is good to go. This guy is not, even if he's the slightest bit not good to go, he's not good to go at all. Not like, oh, well, he didn't pass, but I mean, he was all right. He wasn't knocked out. So if you want to play him in the third quarter, you can't. Like, no. Like, one game out of a season, no one would remember that Tua missed week 4 versus now we're going to be talking about this probably for the rest of the season.
And I don't mean to like talk about it as in a stance where like, because obviously I don't know as much as most people do, but it's like you can tell when a head-on collision happens.
Dude,
you can tell. I mean, when a helmet hits a helmet, when a knee hits a helmet, when anything hits a helmet, it should be like, hey, we understand that this is a football game, and we understand this is fast-paced offense, and this is a big deal, big game, probably only down by a score or such. But your long-time health is way more important than this one single game.
I mean, the even thing that we kind of touched on is on Sunday when he was knocked out versus the Bills, the NFLPA was already investigating him coming back in the game. They were already on them.
Yeah.
And if you kind of hear that, like obviously they know about that, would you play that same guy on Thursday that they're already saying you shouldn't have brought him back in on Sunday? NFLPA is all over you. Some players are kind of chirping.
The only thing I can think of is like you really got to trust your medical staff.
You really got it. They had full faith. They put all their eggs in one basket.
Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, he's good. Are you 100% sure?
And so
like,
now they're like
one good.
They are in the dead center of the NFLPA. They are having a great time investigating this because this is spot on of why they're here, to protect the players that weren't protected in the situation.
And you know, people could be naive and be like, well, it's the player's call. It's not the player's call.
No player is going to say that.
No, but yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, we played football. I'm not going to ever come to my teammates and be like, I'm injured, man. I can't play. Like, play. You're going to have to drag me off the field if I'm injured. And because I'm not going to convince myself that I'm not going to be able to convince myself that I'm not okay to
If you're able to walk, and I'm able to walk there, I'm not going to say, well, my ankle kind of hurts, or yeah, my toe hurts, or my head's kind of rattling. Now, if I can't move and it's obvious, then I won't even say anything if I'm knocked out. But if Tua was able to walk up to the sideline and say he wants to play, I'm sure he did. I mean, that's what everybody wants out of your quarterback. You don't want to hear some report that, oh yeah, he said he wasn't feeling good and didn't come back in the game. Like, you'd rather the doctor say that.
And so and Alex Smith talked about this on that podcast, but he basically was like, when you're the quarterback of the room, everybody wants to know they can trust you, and everybody wants to know that you're on their side and you can fight. But it's like, because he was like, if you play through like a sprained shoulder, then everybody in the locker room sees that and they're like, hey, this guy, he's a dog. Like, he can play through pain.
Yeah.
But it's like, you got to prioritize your health at the same time. It's like, if you have a concussion, like, obviously you want to, like, in retrospect, be like, yeah, I really wish I didn't play through that. But it's like, I'm not going to have the power as a player to be like, no, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to have to be like, hey, you're not playing.
That's what the concussion protocol should be there for. But okay, let's touch on some of these other games.
Yeah.
So we had that situation. The Bengals actually ended up winning that game because they had Teddy Two Gloves come in. So they got the 27-15 dub into the Dolphins' win streak, which was a great turnaround for the Bengals. They kind of turned it around. What are they, 2-2 now? Yeah, I think they're 2-2.
Yep.
Because they had that ugly loss against my Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? You know, we was getting hated on all year. We'll get to them later. But they bounced back after that. So I think I saw a stat that Burrow, what was it, over like 14 sacks in the first 2 weeks?
So
I think it was in the
teens.
It was
like 14 or 15 sacks first 2 weeks, and I think it's like 3 or 4
Yeah,
it's
like 3 or 4.
two.
So they definitely, I don't want to say sure that, but they played the Dolphins, not an exactly hellacious pass rush. And then who they played the week before? I don't know who they played the week.
The Jets.
Okay, so back-to-back not great pass rushers. So you kind of have to look at the schedule. You can't be like, well, their O-line is improved and they're the best O-line in the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at who they were playing. But
you got to think about it. If you're Joe Burrow, you're like, oh, this is so nice.
Dude, like, and they spent capital on it. It's not like they just didn't do anything. They got the guy from Kansas City. They got my boy at right tackle that can't block a thing. Lyle Collins that can't block a thing.
You talking about Joe Burrow's bodyguard?
Yeah, I'll be your bodyguard. No one will touch you. He's that bodyguard on Twitter. You seen it? He's just doing the pat down, letting everybody through.
Yeah.
Not the greatest start, but I think what's in that division, and then we'll go to the other games. Who do you think's winning that division with the Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns?
So you would have to say the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I
like
think
the Ravens as the complete.
I think the Bengals could like come in like second, which like that's a stacked. Well, it's not really that much of a stacked division, but between the Ravens and the Bengals, anything could happen because the Ravens, as much points as they want to put up, and we can talk about this now. Lamar Jackson's got to get paid, but that Ravens defense is not helping.
And it's crazy because they got some guys. It's not like it's a non-talented, like especially that secondary.
They got Patrick Queen.
Yep.
They got Marcus Peters.
Yep.
Oh, help me! They have a lot of guys.
They got
like a lot of guys.
And it's just kind of crazy because the Ravens defense has always been something that we raved over, like even since the
it's what they've historically been known for.
And then when, like I said, when we look at I'll pull it up in a second. When you look at their roster, it's not like it's even Marcus Peters. Did you already say him?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like they have a Kyle Hamilton. They just drafted him in the first
Kyle
round.
Hamilton, he's starting already.
And he's doing good stuff. So it's like they got Anthony Brown who somehow like turned it around. They got some guys, but they just can't put it together. So maybe who's their defensive coordinator over there? Do we know?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Maybe it's a D coordinator thing, but I think the Ravens, I won't say the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is so special that I think he can will this team to the playoffs.
I mean, it's what he's been trying to do for years, isn't it? Like, he's improved this past game. He's bulked up on a muscle.
Yep.
He's still running all over the place, but he's making accurate passes. It's like any team in the NFL would be lucky to have Lamar Jackson. I don't know a team in the NFL other than probably a handful that wouldn't.
Oh, Marcus Williams and Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, I mean, they're stacked.
They got guys, and they're just not able to pull it through. But I saw another thing earlier saying that should start running more cautiously because his money's on the line. If he takes a big hit,
I'm gonna throw another person in there, Josh Allen. I mean, I know he's already gotten paid.
Yeah.
Lamar's situation's way different, but Josh Allen be running like a running back somewhere.
See, Josh Allen's got like 35 pounds on Lamar though, so like, and
I think isn't Josh Allen like 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, he's a large human, and Lamar is muscular, but he's not like stout. He's not sticking out of the crowd. But I think the hits that Josh Allen takes are more towards the sideline, like he's making a little cut. He'll stiff arm a dude. Lamar is literally running up the A gap like he is, like he's J.K. Dobbins, like he is the actual running back for that team and a great passer. So I think he just takes unnecessary hits. I think Allen takes hits because he's just a big guy. He's like, you're not going to tackle me. Lamar is running as if he's the running back, taking on hits with linebackers head on. Obviously, he usually evades them, and it usually just gets to a safety. But I pray for the guy that he doesn't take any big hit. But you can't be out there thinking when you're playing football. You can't be like, well, my contract's going to be less if I take a big hit on this play that coach just called. You got to just hoop. And he's a baller. He's a gamer. He's a guy that just wins games for you however he needs to. I mean, that receiving core has been somehow pulling through. Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay, which I don't think anyone projected that.
Horns up, baby. Devin Duvernay. But yeah, I mean, and it's kind of weird because everybody thought that passing game was going to diminish with losing Marquise, but I mean, Rashad Bateman's is a guy that's got speed. Devin Duvernay is a guy that's got speed, and I think that team is just full of guys that have speed. J.K. Dobbins is back.
Just picked him up on waivers.
I also did. So we'll see how that pans out. Yeah. But I mean, moving on. Cowboys 4-0 with Cooper Rush at the helm.
Yep.
Michael Gallup officially back his first time. Gets a touchdown. Big deal.
Yes, sir.
That receiving core is moving up. CD has a big game.
He better.
Yeah. CD's got it. CD had a big game. Cowboys looking good. I think the real testament as far as like the big time, like, can Cooper Rush? I'm telling you right now, like, there is no quarterback controversy. But if Cooper Rush can beat the Rams this weekend
and the Eagles, if he goes back-to-back 5-6, what do you do?
Like,
What
you're gonna
do
say
you
like,
do?
like obviously you're not gonna be like, well, Dak's taking the bench. Like, it's gonna be like, but in my opinion, it'd be like Cooper Rush is starting until we lose, and then from that point on, we'll start Dak. Because it's like, if you can give Dak a longer time to heal,
there's no reason to rush it. You only rush him back if you're sucking.
right?
If you're 6-0 with Cooper Rush, why are you rushing Dak back? So I think, like you said, it's a good predicament to be in. It just gets challenging. I think we'll make the playoffs. Say we make it as the 5 or 6 seed, and Cooper Rush has lost 2-3 games. Do you play Dak?
Because if you're a backup quarterback, your job is to basically break even. Hey, we got a guy who's out 4 to 6 weeks. We need you to go 500.
Yeah.
Like obviously that's not what they're gonna say.
Yeah. But that's your projection.
That's like your internal expectation.
Yeah.
Like, if you can go 500 for us, that'd be great.
Yeah.
This guy's 4-0.
And it's a good 4-0. Like, it's not like he's just like we're beating. Now, obviously, we kind of poured it on Washington a little bit. But in the other games, they were game-winning drives. Like, he was, I don't want to say the catalyst, but he was a big part of why we won. He was not just checking the ball down, and our defense carried us to a 30-point win. Like, these were all close games until that Redskins game. In the Redskins game, he balled out, man. I mean, he got all the guys.
Commanders.
Oh, yeah, not the Redskins, the Commanders, the Commandees. He balled out, man. He got the ball to Gallup, which I thought was so awesome, getting him back in there. I really been trying to look for Tolbert. Like, is Tolbert even running routes out there?
He's injured.
Okay, he's like injured, or I would love to, because going into the season, he was wide receiver 2, with Gallup being out, Washington being out, and Noah Brown didn't even know he was still on the roster, and then he just
Noah Brown went off.
He's just. I mean, it makes sense though. He's been kind of a blocking receiver, and he's had decent hands. But think about it. In practice, who is Cooper Rush's wide receiver 1 for the past 5 years? Noah Brown. Yeah. So when he gets in there, an automatic connection. CD and him don't have that repertoire together.
It's like former practice squad. The practice squad's like, hey, we already have a connection.
We already got one.
We're going to utilize this in the game.
And like him and Noah looked so comfortable. Like week 2 when we played the Bengals, I was like, what is happening?
It's kind of crazy.
Like, they look better than Dak and CD have for the last couple of games. I'm like, what is that? I mean, I'm fine with it. And then I think the most encouraging thing was how involved CD got. I mean, they went to him in one quarter 3 times in a row. Like, seeing CD implement himself as wide receiver 1 and being that guy, I think that comes more with targets rather than yards after catch, touchdowns, whatever. Those kind of just come. But targets shows you who the wide receiver 1 was, and he led the league team in targets, and he did his thing. And then Gallup filled in, and Brown filled in, and we'll have Tolbert and Washington coming back. So, team's looking solid.
Yeah, I agree. Any other games that kind of stuck out to you? Off the dome piece.
Let me look. There was actually the games were all right this week. They weren't crazy. Was there any games that stuck out to you?
I think Bailey Zappi, former Conference USA MVP, kind of leading the Patriots to overtime against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers was kind of interesting.
Dude, he made that game a lot closer than most people thought it would be. Oh, I know. The Chiefs-Packers game. What did you think about that?
Chiefs-Buccaneers.
Or Chiefs-Buccaneers, sorry.
Chiefs kind of took care of business as I expected.
Did.
It kind of seems like they're on a revenge tour, isn't it?
I like it. It's kind of like
because it's like not a lot of people are talking about the Chiefs right now.
You know what it feels like? It feels exactly like the Warriors. How they just were great for a long time. Everyone hates them. Mahomes, Curry. They take a little time off. They lose in the first, second, whatever round. They don't make it to the Super Bowl or finals.
Lose your all-star.
You're just kind of like under the radar. No one. I mean, people had Pat, but no one's like, Pat's gonna win the MVP. It was all Josh Allen and Lamar and Herbert, and it was Mahomes was like, I'm still pretty good at football. You know, I'm okay. They lose Tyreek Hill, like you said. They just a bunch of guys at receiver. You know, Juju's the guy, hasn't really done much this year, and this offense looks completely different. Like it's like 7-8 guys catch the ball every game. Like, it's a different guy catching a touchdown. Or the backup tight end will lead the team in touchdowns
Practice
1 week.
Squad guy.
Practice squad running back will catch a jet sweep and score. Like, they don't care. They're not playing hero ball. They're just out there hooping. And I think this could be, like we said, kind of like with the Warriors. I feel like this is a team that'll sneak into the second, third seed. And I think they could win it all, honestly, in that AFC. no one's pulling away right now.
Nobody is pulling away. Bills got that devastating loss against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And that's like pulling like needles right there. That's a really good team. So it's interesting because
Bills beat the Ravens. That's who they played this week.
Yeah, and so it's kind of interesting. The AFC is, because we all knew it was going to be a big matchup. We just didn't know how it was going to stack necessarily. But yeah, I think that they get a big time win.
Do you think that the Packers? I don't want to say turn it around because I think they're 2-2. They're 3-1. Actually,
my thoughts have always been the Packers are going to They're going to do really good in the regular season.
Yeah.
They're going to lose one big time game.
Yeah.
They've already done that against the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
So they already did it. Last year it was the Saints. And then they're going to do really good in the regular season, and then they're going to crap out in the playoffs. Every year. Happens every year.
And he has no scapegoat.
And then
Adams.
if the Cowboys are playing in the playoffs, they'll beat us before they crap out.
I really hope we don't play the Packers because Aaron Rodgers just owns us, unfortunately.
Well, he actually owns the Bears. But the playoffs, he definitely has some real estate.
I truly think if they played first round, as much as I hate to say this, I think the Cowboys would win. I think that defense.
I think our defense is incredible.
Our defense is top three, maybe not 3 or 2 either. Like that pass rush that we get is just insane.
We have a lot of guys.
And then now, because it was last year, it was like our pass rush was like okay.
And Trayvon Diggs is a really high rated corner.
Thank you. Like Diggs is like playing like coverage. Now he was playing safety last year, if you will, just kind of ball hawking. Now he's playing like great coverage and not allowing a lot of completions. Everyone likes to bag on Diggs, but if you actually watch the film, he's been one of the best corners this year.
Well, I don't know if you remember that Jamar Chase basically called him out.
I did. And said he had bad technique?
Yeah, bad technique. He held Jamar 2 catches, 14 yards.
2. I think he's only allowed 7 or 8 catches the whole year, and it hasn't even been for over 100 yards yet. He's been doing his thing. And that's the thing. When you have a hellacious pass rush, you got guys forcing Gallimore, Lawrence, Micah, all those guys getting back there. You got guys like Winston just going to throw it up there, and we have ball hawks. We got Wilson, Kurz, Diggs, obviously, and I think I'm not the biggest fan of Anthony Brown, but he hasn't given up no burners yet. So
Anthony Brown's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but no one is really struggling on the defense. There's no one I could be like, that guy has been terrible. The defense has just been solid. The offense has been solid. It's just kind of a weird thing where we're kind of the underdog.
A well-rounded team.
We're just like a well-rounded, like good team, and no one expected it with Tyron Smith and Dak going out.
I am completely 100% with you on that one. So looking ahead, we have and then the Broncos.
Oh my gosh.
The Raiders get their first win against the Broncos.
Can we stop putting the Broncos on national TV on primetime? Oh my gosh. It is like watching coleslaw melt. I'm tired of watching.
They do have a very boring offense.
They're again. I think they're again this week on Thursday. They play somebody. I don't even know.
They play the Colts, yeah.
Who wants to watch the Broncos and the Colts with no Jonathan Taylor?
Or Javonte Williams. There might be 9 people watching that game. Like you're doing anything else you could do on Thursday night than watching I'm getting the score update and the highlights on YouTube. So the Broncos are 2-2 and the Colts are 1-2-1.
That's such a record for a Thursday night Amazon Prime. If anything, we should talk about how smart Mr. Bezos, right? He's Amazon?
Yeah.
How smart Mr. Bezos is for buying Thursday night. Like that's got to be the smartest thing ever.
Well, it's going to happen more.
Oh, if you want to watch this game that everyone's talking about, yeah, you got to go through my site and program and pay me a subscription that I'm going to make more money on for other stuff.
They said the first Thursday night football of this year was the most signups Amazon has ever had in their history.
I mean, yeah, think about every dad that was probably scrambling to find the first game.
They're asking their wife what the Amazon password is.
Honey, where's the Amazon Prime? That's on Prime. They were probably, you could just go to, like, even sports bars didn't have it because they didn't know. Not every sports bar probably knew. My restaurant didn't know. We missed the first Thursday night. Then we had the ones coming up after that. But like you said, we got some guys. You got Matt Ryan, who's top 5 in passing yards right now. You got
crazy.
Who's the Broncos quarterback right now? Russ. I forgot. Let Russ cook. Kenny Cook. Okay, I got a question for you, Kev. Over under 2 passing touchdowns for Russell Wilson. That's tough, isn't it?
Over, because that Colts defense is missing guys. Hey, real quick, I just saw this report. The fan that was leveled by Bobby Wagner during Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah, that's a great topic too.
He's filing a police report for blatant assault against Bobby Wagner. Bro, how does that work? You're trespassing.
How you're on private property, and that a lot worse could have happened. If anything, he's famous because he got tackled by a football player.
Bobby Wagner, like, you know that hurt though.
I'm sure. You know what else hurt? Probably his pride the moment he jumped on there and he realized how stupid he was. And he's all over the internet. Usually they blur people out or don't even show them. He's all over because Bobby Wagner tackled him. I'm pretty sure they showed it on the. Did they show it on the broadcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bobby Wagner tackled him. Because
Like
typically they don't.
Yeah, like he's suing. There's no way he thinks he's gonna win. You're on private property on camera for the entire United States to see. Yeah, that was.
I mean, his
unfair of
name
him.
isn't even out there. TMZ reported as the fan, so it's not like his name's out there. Whatever. I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit.
That's so dumb that he wants money from that.
Giants play the Packers. The Giants are 3-1, and so are the Packers. I don't know who all predicted that for that matchup, but I think that could actually be a pretty good game.
I got Giants. I got Giants in that matchup. I
so that's
seen
the
enough
one
of the Packers.
that's the one that's going to happen in London.
Yeah, let's just do a pick 'em. Just run through the schedule.
Pick 'em. So you're doing
This-
Giants?
Do we have the spread or no? I don't need the spread. I'm just asking if you had it.
I don't have.
Okay. I'll just pick straight up.
That's what happens when we have the script. Is typically I would be able to have the spread, but
It's okay.
Um,
I'm sure the Packers are probably like +4. If I had to guess.
probably. Well, yeah, probably something like that because
3.5.
it's supposed to be their home game.
Yeah, +3.5, something like that. Okay.
Steelers Bills. It's got to be a wash.
Yeah, that's Bills by more than 7.
So Chargers Browns. Each team is 2-2.
I think this will come down to like the last field goal. Chargers get the last field goal. This will be a very close game.
Falcons Buccaneers. Each team's 2-2.
I got the Falcons. Upset alert. Yep.
Really?
Actually, let me take it back. I have the Falcons upset alert, but at the same time, we all know what's happening with Tom right now and Giselle. I think that might propel him to literally go out and have a masterclass. I'm going to take everything I said back. Bucks by like 14. I can see Tom just coming out fire in his eyes and absolutely lighting up Atlanta.
Titans Commanders. Ooh, that's gonna be ugly.
That's gonna be ugly. I feel like Vrabes pulls it out and Carson Wentz continues to struggle. So I got the Titans.
Well, I just think Derrick Henry runs over that entire defense.
Yeah.
Texans Jaguars.
I got the
Texans
Jags.
are 0-3-1.
Yeah, I got the Jags. I like the Jags this year.
Jags are really good.
I like Dougie P's doing over there. T. Law, Kirk. I like the Jags.
Dolphins Jets.
I think
gloves.
this game will be closer than people think. I think this will come down.
Jets
to
are 2-2.
Yeah, I think this will
And
come down
Zach
to
Wilson
the last,
had a good game.
I think this will come down to the last drive as well, and I feel like the Dolphins do pull it out though.
Okay. Lions Patriots. Each team is 1-3.
Lions.
Okay. It'd be a big time win for them.
Yeah.
Saints Seahawks.
This is one of those ones.
Like if the Seahawks win this one,
Well, what's the record?
2-2.
I feel like this is the one the Seahawks do win on some like Geno Smith masterclass again. And is Alvin Kamara gonna like?
I think he's still out.
No, I think he played last game. He got touches. He just didn't do anything with them.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm getting from the Saints right now. They're all over the place. Olave is the only like consistent guy. So I'm gonna go that Seahawks defense pull it out.
Bears Vikings.
Oh gosh, if my boy Bruce is watching this, he's the biggest Bears homer, and he swears that they were gonna have 10 wins this season. What are they at right now?
2-2.
Yeah, they're not getting to 10 because the Vikings. Jay Jettis is gritty in on them. Did you see his post on Marshawn Lattimore? It was him stepping over him in the end zone. He said, "No questions, I'm the answer." So that's gonna happen again to the entire Bears roster. I got the Vikings +3. I mean,
Just assuming. Okay.
yeah, they're gonna win by 3.
49ers Panthers. Niners, right? Like, I mean, that pass rush is insane.
That pass.
Baker Mayfield's been playing subpar.
This is actually tough because I just feel like it's good, but the Niners did look really good on Monday.
They killed the Rams.
Yeah, I got the Niners. The Panthers probably can't pull it together.
Now, this one's interesting. Undefeated Eagles, Cardinals.
This will be one of the better teams they've played. It's going to be a shootout, Kyler versus Jalen. But nah, the Eagles got it. The Cardinals cannot stop me and you from scoring right now. So
They're bad.
Their offense is all right, but their defense is abysmal.
They're really bad at slow starts.
So I think this could be like a 40 to like 27 game. Like I feel like it could be close, but I could feel like the Eagles just pile on points this game.
I feel like this is one of those games.
And they're home, right? I think they're home.
Yeah, Arizona's at home.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of those games where I'll be watching all the slates of the games, and then I'm gonna tune in, and it's like Eagles are down 14-0, and I'm just like,
You think the Eagles will be down?
I think they'll pull it out, but I think that they're gonna have a slow start, and I think that that's gonna be able to tell us if they're playoff ready.
So do you got the Eagles
I think
winning?
the Eagles winning. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they win by more than 7.
I think they'll win by field goal.
Okay. We'll check back in.
Cowboys Rams. I think that's probably one of the bigger matchups for the day, just because Cooper Rush is the helm. So.
Oh my gosh, where do I go with this? Like, if you were to ask anyone, the Rams are the better team.
The
right?
Rams are the better rounded team, and
But it's
they're
like-
on like a revenge tour because they just got their ass wiped by the freaking 49ers.
But it's like the Cowboys are like playing some of the best football right now, unexpectedly. It's like, are they playing good or are they just above expectations?
I would definitely take the Rams. Whatever the spread is, it's probably like 7. If the spread is
like 5.
7, I would, or like 10 or whatever, I would take the Cowboys to at least cover the spread.
I think it's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably like 5 or something, and I think the Cowboys will cover. I don't know if this is one that we can pull out though. This might be a tougher one because the Rams don't really got no weak
I think we
spots.
lose this one, but if we lose it, I would like to think it'd be by not a whole lot.
Let me try to find this spread.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going.
All right. Yep. It's they're 4.5 dogs.
4.5. So I think the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys could cover that.
Okay. Not to dive too into it, real quick. What do the Cowboys have to do to win this game? Because it's like they're not really playing bad.
Defense obviously has to be overall just there.
Yeah. I'm not even worried about the defense. I don't think the Rams' offense has been great. So I think Diggs.
I don't think that Rams' defense has been great.
Yeah. So I'm more worried about us putting points up. Like if Cooper Rush comes out and puts points up, I think
Matthew
we win.
Stafford has not looked good yet this season.
I'll say this: if we score 14 or more in the first half, we win.
If we win the turnover battle, we win. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because they've got a very stacked defense who can play good.
Yeah.
And even though they haven't, they can. They do have Jalen Ramsey. You have Aaron Donald who can force pressures. That team is stacked. If we can win the turnover battle,
yeah,
there's no reason we should.
I'm
lose.
more nervous about the Rams' defense just kind of shutting out and kind of isolating Cooper Rush, if you will.
Yeah.
But the offense, I'm completely fine with Diggs going up against Kupp and Micah and Lawrence coming after Stafford just because, bro, that O-line is not there right now.
Yeah. Bengals, Ravens.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Each team is 2-2.
That's going to be, what time is that game?
That is that's a Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game right there. I got Ravens, and I think that one will be obvious. I think that one will be close, like 28-25. I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, field goal game.
Yeah.
Raiders, Chiefs. Now, what do we make of the Raiders if they win this game?
They're not going to, but we make that. I can't even imagine a world they lose this. Win this. I'm gonna be honest. Like I can't even. I was about to say if they do X, Y, and Z, but like the Chiefs look good, bro. They
Mahomes
look balanced.
looks really good.
Like he was toying with that Buccaneers defense, that Todd Bowles defense, and that's not easy. And the Raiders defense is like the worst, if not the second worst. So like, and the Bucs defense I think was the number 1. It was either 1 or 2. Them and the Eagles.
They're very good.
And he just toyed with them and put 40. So what do you think he's going to do to the Raiders? This might be a 50-pointer. Call it my homeboy 50.
All right, and to square it all off for not this Thursday, but next Thursday. I don't even know if anyone will tune into this game. Like literally. Washington versus Chicago.
My boy Bruce will be the Bears homer, will be tuned in with 3 TVs watching that one. The only people watching that are people that have fantasy players in that game.
You got Terry McLaurin. You're watching that game.
I'm trying to trade Terry McLaurin, so he's third on the depth chart right now behind Dot. Not actually, but
don't ruin his stock on here.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Someone trade for Terry. He's so good. He's obviously the wide receiver 1. Samuel and Dotson definitely haven't taken his targets.
So who are you taking?
Oh, I still have to pick. I got the Commanders. that who's playing? The Commanders and Bears? Yeah, I got the Commanders.
Okay.
I don't believe in the Bears at all.
See, I don't know why it has it like this because technically next Thursday would be the
Week 6?
yeah,
Or week
right?
5?
Because the Washington
Didn't it have a Monday night
plays on
game?
Sunday. Yeah, Washington plays on Sunday, and so does the Chicago. Interesting. I don't know why it's like that. Anyway, that is going to do it for the show today. Blake, thank you so much for coming on. A little bit of an interesting show today. Cullen had to kind of call in. For those who don't know, Cullen was dealing with a little bit of the sickness, but he's all better now, well rested and ready to get back into action. But that is going to do it for the show on our part. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, viewing, subscribing, all that, etc. stuff. If you did tune into the live stream, thank you so much. Sorry that it was all over the place like it always is. But thank you for tuning in. As always, follow us on our social medias at Fools on Stools. Blake, if you want to throw in your own social media.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Blake Live 2 _ BLAKE LIVE. Go show some support. North Texas Streaming Network. We'll see you on Friday. Peace.
Well, I have to do my outro, but
He's got to do his outro.
yeah, peace for Blake anyway. Thank y'all so much. As always, grab a stool and be a fool.